Welcome to Hopeful Journey. My name is Bill Fix. I'm the senior pastor of Journey of Hope Community Church. And today I have a friend that's been my friend for 15 years. His name is Pastor Robert McFarland. He is the senior pastor of Allen Park Church of the Nazarene. And we've been accountability partners all of that time.
Yes, we have,
It's
Bill.
been terrific, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It really has.
A lot of wonderful things have happened. It amazes me, Pastor, that there are so many people today that do not have anyone that they pray with regularly.
Mm-hmm. And that's true. And it's very important that we have that accountability partner because we need to be accountable to someone. I mean, yes, we're accountable to God, but yet we need to have that person that we can really share our inner thoughts, what we're going through. And so that's what you've been to me. I've been able to share things with you that I could not with anybody else.
You've been that for me too. It's been very intimate at times.
Yes, it has.
You've seen me cry. I've seen you cry.
Yes.
Well, I've been through some really difficult times in ministry, as you know, and you
Yes.
have been through some very difficult times in your ministry, and it's something that we could not talk about, even with our wives.
No, because we really, as pastors, we try to protect our wives,
Mm-hmm.
and there's times that we go through things that we don't want them to know, so as people come up to them and say, hey, did you know? And they can truthfully say, no, I don't know anything you're talking about.
Exactly.
And so I cry on your shoulder just like you cry on mine, and we're partners where we can vent, where we can't do that with even our church board. As much confidence we have with them, we can't do that.
Well, we not only cry together, we do a lot of laughing together.
Yeah, we
and
do.
eating. We have breakfast every week. I think, to develop this relationship that we have, we had to develop some different traits. What would be some of those things that you think that we needed to develop to have a good accountability relationship?
Well, of course, we had to get to know each other.
Yes.
And that took a couple of years.
It did.
It wasn't something that just happened overnight. We did services together. We went out to eat as the four of us together. And so we developed that relationship to the point where we were able to then share with one another slowly.
Mm-hmm.
It was a slow process even after we got to know each other. It was still a slow process until we felt that we could say something to one another and know that I wasn't going to go any farther, and that you weren't going to be judging me, but you were going to be praying for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just appreciated so much the trust that I have in you, that I could tell you anything and knew that it was between you and I.
Sure.
And you would definitely be on your knees praying for me for whatever that was bothering me, or that. And you were also such a wonderful counselor. At times I would, you're so close to the fire that you just don't know what to do. And sometimes an outside person looking in can give you so much wisdom that, God provided you for me at just the right time in my ministry.
Well, and vice versa. I don't know if it was wisdom that I had, but it's very true that somebody outside the arena, if you would, can see things totally different because we're so close to the situation that we look at it differently than a person that's away from it, and so. Yeah, we've helped each other, I think, in that particular situation. Yeah.
As a pastor, you really need to be very careful about your total honesty with anyone.
Oh, very much so.
Because you could share things that would become public knowledge in just a few moments. And so that not only the trust issue, but the transparency, I believe, that we have in our relationship. All about my family, all about my church, my wife, our relationships, how we struggle, if I've had a difficult time with my spouse, I can talk to you about it, and you laugh with me, you encourage me, and it's been a two-way street.
Sure.
It's been
It
wonderful.
really has been. You know, and again, didn't happen overnight.
It didn't.
But yet, as I look over the 15 years, like you said, we've shared things where we've cried, where we're at the end of our rope, if you would, and even though we've gone to God about it, we've said to ourselves and to one another, man, I just feel like giving up. You know, and that's human nature, but yet it's I'm so glad that I've had you as my accountability partner, and that I've been able to share with you, knowing it wasn't going to go any farther.
And it is a two-way street. As I said, I felt the same way, and it's I encourage people in my church all the time that they need to have an accountability partner, as I have.
Very much so. Matter of fact, our men's group just I think it would be 2 years ago, had a class in regards to accountability partners, and our men now have that. I don't think it is as strong as ours is right at the moment, but they're working on it. And again, it takes time. It's not an overnight situation. Sometimes it takes years, but if you work at it and you really pray about it, first of all, it's not well, you know, Bill looks like he's a guy that I can trust. No, you pray about it and say, okay, Lord, is this the person that I can put my trust into and know that they're going to help me? And so that's really what accountability is all about.
Every week, or almost every week, you know, there were a few weeks where we couldn't meet, but almost every week for 15 years on Tuesday morning, I would pick you up at 7 a.m. We would go to a restaurant. Usually it was Bob Evans, but once in a while we'd hit another restaurant, and we would have breakfast together, and then we would talk about our sermon series or what's going on there. We were it was very easy for us to talk about that, and sometimes you would inspire me by your series that I would use some of your points in my sermon, and I'm sure, you know, it's just a sharing.
Sure.
So we were able to share stories, resources. You know, when I got a good book, I like to pass it your direction, and you bought me so many good books and tapes and CDs and DVDs, and you've invited me to. I was even there at your ordination.
Yes, you were.
It was awesome.
Yes, you were.
It was terrific.
It was. It was. It was an honor to have you there, Bill.
It was an honor to be there, and then this encouragement has meant so much to me. When I was really down, you dragged me by the back of my collar and helped me get back up, and you know, no one knew but you that I was really down.
That's right.
And I was able to share from my heart what I was really feeling. You know, sometimes as a pastor, other people may see you as being incompetent or not able to handle a situation, and that really hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're just struggling with the situation, trying to find solutions. And when I was going through such a difficult time, you were there for me, and I will always remember and appreciate that.
Well, and I'm glad that I was able to give some advice, or at least say what I thought I would do if I was in your shoes. Polish them first, you know, but no, but to be able to see it from my side, from the outside looking in, and of course our denomination, the structure is totally different, and so I would say, well, this is how it's done in the Church of the Nazarene, and I think maybe at times, by saying that, we've been able to help one another to even understand the two denominations.
Yes. True.
and that has helped because I love your people.
Hmm.
I love your people,
Hmm.
and they've got the greatest pastor they could ever get.
I think the same thing about your people. I think our churches could combine and we would just have a great church.
Yes, we would.
It was
Yes,
just,
we would.
we enjoy so much getting together.
Yeah.
And I love your wife and you love my wife. I mean, they get together and all we do is laugh.
Yes,
I mean,
we do.
it is
Yes.
just,
Matter of fact,
it
I
is so
think
much fun.
sometimes people wonder if that's really water that we're drinking.
That's probably true. That's probably true. Uh, Pastor Bob, this 15 years has gone by so quickly.
Certainly has.
It just
It
is
has.
amazing. When we first started, we just wanted to get a few holiness pastors together. Wouldn't it be great? I mean, we're different denominations, but we have a lot of the same beliefs.
Yes, we do.
We believe in holiness. We
Yes, we
believe
do.
in sanctification. We believe that people can get to the point where they do not commit sin. We believe that they can get to the point where they are set apart for God's use only. And if they make a mistake, everybody makes mistakes.
Sure we do.
But mistakes are not sin. Sin is purposely doing wrong.
Exactly.
Or purposely not doing the things that you should do.
Correct.
We believe
Correct.
that we can get to a point where we can live holy lives and be pleasing to God.
That's right.
And we become more Christ-like every day.
Yes, we do.
It's
Yes,
just
we do.
it's a great journey, isn't it?
It is. And again, it's amazing how God brings people together. I mean, I can thank Reverend Chuck Gibson for bringing our churches together.
Yes.
And and even though he was called to Colorado, our friendship stayed the same. And I think it even became stronger.
That's right.
Because we started to lean upon each other.
Exactly.
So
It's been fun to share some of the funny stories in our churches, the things that have happened. I think I told you about the time I was preaching, and we had these portable steps on the stage, and to get off the stage, and I often walked down into the audience, but somebody had moved the stairs, and I was reading scripture. I walked out where the stairs always were, and I quickly found the floor.
Quickly, yes.
Quickly found the floor. And we laughed as I shared that story with you long ago. And your wife was telling me a story about you not too long ago. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Is that the one, Yahweh?
Yes, Yahweh.
Yes, Yahweh.
You were talking about Yahweh. tell us that story.
Well, I was preaching away and meant to say Yahweh as I was preaching, and I said Yahoo instead. Did not catch it myself, I
Right.
just kept on preaching,
Right.
and I looked over at my wife, and she's trying to keep composure, and yet she said afterwards, "Did you realize what you said?" And I said, "No." And she said, "You said Yahoo instead of Yahweh."
One time I was doing a funeral, Pastor Bob, and when I was I wanted to use the word immortal, and somehow I used the word immoral. They're close, but they're not anywhere similar in definition. So,
definition-wise, no.
So we have made some big mistakes, and we can laugh about those now, but at the time, oh wow, was that ever a bad mistake, huh?
But it just proves that we're human.
We are human.
Pastor Bill, that we're not any different than anybody else. It's just that we've got a special calling on our lives.
That is absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, we want to share with you some more. We're almost at the end of the first 15 minutes of our program,
Wow.
and we're going to take a break here and invite you to come back as we continue to talk about accountability and how important it is for you as an individual, as a Christian, to have an accountability partner that you can be transparent with and that you can share with and pray with on a regular basis. We're going to talk more about our relationship and the future for Pastor Bob McFarland here in just a few moments. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the Hopeful Journey. I'm here with Pastor Bob McFarland, my accountability partner for the last 15 years. He's the senior pastor of Allen Park Church of the Nazarene, and we've been chatting about the importance of accountability partners. And one of the things that we would like to do is just encourage you, if you do not have someone that you pray with regularly, to begin to meet with a person that you can pray with and get to know, because we think it's very important that everyone have that kind of a relationship with someone that you can share with, someone that you can be transparent with, and not be afraid of being judged or that it's going to become gossip. Begin to develop that relationship with one or more people, and you will grow spiritually. I'd like to make a bold statement here. I believe that Christians without an accountability partner may be headed for spiritual stagnation, where they're not growing, because one of the things that this accountability relationship will encourage you to stay with the faith and to continue to study the Word of God, and will give you some ideas on how to do that. I believe that people will not only stagnate, but they may be headed for disaster unless they have someone that they're praying with on a regular basis. Because I think the devil's pretty active here, isn't he? And especially
I would say he is very much so, Pastor Bill, because as we have said to other people, he's after those that have accepted Jesus Christ as their personal Savior. He's got the other ones, and so he attacks the Christians even more, and we think we can do it on our own when we really can't. And so we have to have that individuals and sometimes individuals, more than one person.
That's right.
As accountability partners. But we need to have that person so that when we are attacked, I can call you and say, Pastor Bill, hey, is this what's supposed to be happening? Or, at least share with you what I'm going through, so you know how to pray for me.
Exactly. And because we are able to share just anything with one another, I think that vulnerability is where we're most vulnerable, is where Satan will attack. And if we're not getting that out and clearing our heart, then that Satan will work on that.
Sure, he certainly will. And I know that there's been times that I've gone through things, and you've been there for me. And yes, again, we go to God with our issues and with our problems and that. But when we have accountability partner, it becomes more intimate. What I mean by that is I can say anything to you. I can share my heart. See, a lot of people, even close friends, really cannot share their heart because they want to make sure that friend still likes them. Where when we become accountability partners, I can say anything to you knowing that you're not judging me, knowing that you're not going to tell Dottie about me, knowing that you're not going to use me as an example in one of your messages,
Right.
that it's going to be just you, you and God.
Exactly.
And so accountability is so important in today's society. And it's not just for men, it's for women also. Women need that just as much as we do.
Yes, I think so. I think it's easier for a woman to develop that relationship than it is for a man, because a man is so guarded.
Yeah, we have a wall there,
Uh-huh.
and we don't want to bring that wall down.
That's right.
But yet, as we come to know each other, as we laugh, as we cry, all of a sudden, brick by brick, that wall comes down to the point
That's
where
exactly right.
there's no wall at all.
If we did not have that accountability where we could share even our mistakes, wow, I lost it last night with my wife. I mean, I just went off. I was tired. Everything went wrong at the office yesterday, and I just was really angry I just took it out on my wife, and I was able to confess that with you. If I was not able to confess that to God and to you, then Satan also holds us captive.
Oh, very much so.
When he holds us captive, if we have not confessed it, I mean, that sin has us. And that's where Satan wants us, because we become ineffective then.
And that's what Scripture says. We're to confess to God, but we're to confess to one another. And that's where the accountability partner comes in.
Exactly. And it also, Scripture says where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name. I don't think that's, you sitting in the pew way over there and you sitting in the pew way over there. No, it's that accountability partner that you have where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, and there's transparency there, and there's a love for God, and there's a lot of common things in our lives that we can really sense God's presence. I've sensed God's presence in our meetings together.
Wow. Yes. I mean, again, we've cried many times. Not cried over problems, but cried over the blessings that God has poured out upon both of us in our ministry.
Oh, yes.
And we've cried because our hearts break for our church family. Those that maybe are playing church.
Right.
And we know that if they would only accept Christ, that things would change so much for them. And so we share that.
Exactly.
We share that.
Exactly. You have people in your church, I have people in my church where you speak the truth to them and they leave. We are able to speak the truth to each other and to remain a unit, accountability partners that love one another, because I know that you want the very best for me. And I believe that with all my heart, and I want the very best for you. I would never do anything to hurt you.
And I truly believe that.
I remember one time, we can be totally honest with each other. One time I was at Pastor Bob's church, and he said, "Just a minute, I'll be right back." And he came back and he gave me some breath mints. He obviously was trying to help me be more effective in my greeting of people. And I'll always remember how honest we can be with each other. That's just an example of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And fixing our ties with one another. We want the best for our accountability partner. We really do.
I like what Jesus came to do. He came to give us a life more full and abundant. And wow, when you have an accountability partnership like we've had, our life really becomes more full, more abundant because of the relationship. And it's gone beyond breakfast. I mean, and praying together. We've gone to the ball game, Tiger Stadium together. We've done so much. We've come up to your place up in Port Huron area, and we've spent the night with you, and we played games and laughed, and wow, we've been out in that deer blind together.
Yes, we have.
We've just done so much.
Yep.
And that's the relationships that need to be built one-on-one. I just think it's so very important. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for every man, for every woman to get an accountability partner.
Well, it's not just that between us, Bill. It is also that as we have gone to breakfast, that those that have seen us together, I think we have showed them that two men can be accountable to one another, but also as we have done that, we've showed them Jesus at the same time. I can think of the four waitresses that we know very well,
Right.
and I think we've had an impact on their lives because of our accountability to one another, because as they come to pour coffee, we're talking, and there's no doubt they hear our conversation.
And I love it when they ask you or ask me, what's happening at your church. Obviously they know that we're pastors and that we meet every week, and it is a special relationship.
Sure.
And they appreciate that, and maybe they are doing that themselves. I don't know.
That's very possible.
That would be great. But trust and honesty and transparency. Someone told me one time that there's 3 L's in leadership, and the first one is to learn people. And you said it took a couple years just for us to learn about each other, about our families and about our hobbies and about our life and how God called us into ministry and what's happening and our problems. It took a couple of years just to
Sure.
learn each other.
Well, look at how long it takes us to learn our congregation.
Oh my, yes, that's true.
You know,
I don't know how they make it. The pastors that come and stay 2 years and go to another church and stay 2 years. I doubt if they ever get to know their congregation or their community.
Or the community. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. One of the things, though, Bill, about accountability is we become men of integrity.
It's true.
Which I think is important, not just for you and I as individuals, but that we become that man of integrity to our family and to those in the community, that when they look at us, they know that we're genuine. We're not just putting on a front, but that they know that we care, our family knows that we care, and that just like we want the best for each other, we want the best for our families and for our congregation.
I think the overflow of this is that our wives have become really close.
Yes.
Which is a pretty neat thing. And when they get together, they have so much fun. My wife has a tremendous appreciation for her, and it's hard to be a pastor's wife. It's very difficult.
It's almost like living in a glass house, because even though the pastor is called to be the shepherd of the flock, the wife is just as important, especially for the women of the church. And if they're not transparent, then the women catch on that a lot faster than men do. And so I think that's where God has blessed both of us tremendously, that He has given us wives that not just love us, but love the congregation also.
Well, we have had such a great relationship. It's lasted for 15 years, and you're about to make a great big move in your career.
Wow.
This coming Sunday, what's going to happen?
This coming Sunday will be my last Sunday at the Allen Park Nazarene Church. We'll be retiring, heading up towards Port Huron, and semi-retire, because I definitely still want to continue to serve God in some capacity. And God is kind of speaking to both Cheryl and I right at the moment about something that could take place, and if it does, it'll be an amazing thing. I just don't want to say what it is right now, just in case God changes His mind.
Well, I can understand that, and we are on television, so everybody would know.
Sure.
But you have just been such an inspiration to me, and just because you're moving, an hour away from me, doesn't mean that we will quit being accountability partners.
No, I expect my phone to ring and hear a voice on the other end saying, "Okay, how is it going, Bob?
Yes.
How's it going? Are you still staying true? How's the battles?"
Yes.
I expect that, Bill.
Well, I expect the same thing, and we'll just be calling each other a lot more. But we also get together occasionally and have breakfast like we always used to do, and we will we'll drive up there and visit you in your home. You have a lovely home up there.
Well, I've got a fishing pole with your name on it.
God has blessed you so much. I mean, you've got a lovely wife, you've got a lovely family, you've got grandchildren. How many grandchildren do you have?
We have six.
Six grandchildren. Wow.
But besides all of that, He has blessed me with wonderful friends. Wonderful friends. People that I probably would never have met had not God called me into the ministry. But most of all, had I not listened and obeyed His calling. Again, Pastor Bill and Dottie are true friends. I know I could call him any time of the night, and he would drop whatever he was doing or get out of bed and come to my side. That's what a true friend is, and that's what you are, Pastor Bill.
You've been the same kind of friend to me, and I know that it's a mutual thing. You know, the half hour that we've had has gone by so quickly,
Wow.
and I appreciate you coming out all the way here to Troy to the LBN studios. Actually, we're outside today because it's so beautiful.
Oh, it is.
It's gorgeous here.
Yes.
And I've enjoyed being here with the crew, and Charlie's here to direct and everything, and we just had a lot of fun today. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
And folks, you've been listening to The Hopeful Journey. I am the senior pastor of Journey of Hope Community Church. My name is Pastor Bill Fix, and we've been talking with Pastor Bob McFarland, the senior pastor of Allen Park Church of the Nazarene, at least until Sunday. God bless you. Thanks for listening.